Hi, Palmer. Mr. Morley here. I'm going to talk to you today about the nature of research questions, or what good research questions should be. We talked earlier about what inquiry is and why the points of inquiry are important. Now we're going to move on to the next step. What should your research question look like? Good research questions share some common features. First of all, they're open. We're going to talk about each of these as we go along. The second part is they are researchable, so they're not entirely cooked out of your head. Third, they are worthy of our time. Note the word our as opposed just to your or my. Fourth, they are unbiased, meaning that they're not tied to any one political or personal opinion. And fifth, they are connected to big ideas. We talk about the big ideas in education all the time. We'll get more to that. So let's start with what does it mean to be open. An open question, sort of like this flower, means that it's not just a yes or no answer. There is some level of opinion to this. I know it's going to sound like that ties into the bias bit, but it's okay. We're going to get there. It means that it can be discussed in a number of different ways. There's not just a single yes or no answer or a simple fact that something happened on this day. It is a how or a why question rather than a what or a when question, if you will. I guess that makes sense. You know, the old how, who, what, where, when, why, how. So you try to focus on these because these leave the research, they don't close the research down. They leave the research able to move in a number of directions. They make it so that you can pursue a variety of options or directions, and it gives you and your reader the opportunity to engage in what you're finding. The next piece is it is researchable. Meaning you can actually go and look for facts or information that will provide direction to help you move towards some sort of answer. Maybe not a definitive answer, but some sort of answer. And it means that whatever you're talking about is not just a conspiracy theory. It's not just hashed out of thin air, or somebody heard somebody's second cousin twice removed talking about something. There are definite facts that are rooted in some form of verifiable content that we can approach and refer back to ground our discussion. And anything that is researchable can be approached from a number of different perspectives. It doesn't just have to be one lens you filter it through. It doesn't just have to be the lens of political conservatism or liberalism or whatever. It can be the point or the question can be approached from a number of different directions, can be viewed through a number of different lenses, and people can still see the same set of facts. That's important, that the same set of facts can be approached through a number of different lenses, and people will still recognize them as facts, not opinions, facts. All right, the next thing is that whatever we're looking at has to be worthy. And by worthy, it means it needs to be worthy of us. I like the timepiece here because ultimately anything that we are researching is costing us, maybe not in money, but in time. Anything we're looking at to discover is valuable in the sense that we're investing time in it. And time is the only thing any of us really own. So the topic that we're looking at needs to be valuable to more than just me, especially if I'm planning or I'm going to be following through with inquiry and I'm going to be presenting this. Other people need to have some reason to invest their time in listening to what I have to say. This is not just an exercise in mental gymnastics for me. I'm doing this research because it's valuable for other people. Maybe not all other people, but I should be able to point to a definite community of people for whom what I am talking about is valuable. That means that the work I'm doing, the reason I'm doing this inquiry, it's not just about getting a mark. It's not about an A or an F or what have you. It's about doing something because it has value or should have value to other people. We're not just doing it to satisfy one teacher. We're doing it because there are people out in the community who will benefit from what I have to say or do. And also, I'm doing it because it's personally enriching for me. I'm not just doing it because, the teacher told me to. I'm doing it because I have a personal interest in doing this and learning or growing as a result. The next part is it's unbiased. Now, we all think that an opinion is a bias. It's not necessarily so. But bias means you have a slant or a lean to one way or another. A good research question, yes, you're approaching it from an opinion, but a good research question does not, in and of itself, suggest an agenda or a stereotype or a program that you have and you are pursuing. And it doesn't imply an answer. So it's open to honest discussion and investigation. There's no implicit judgment in this question in and of itself. I'll go through a couple of test questions. You can see where the problems are or what could be a problem. All right, and connected to big ideas. A big idea isn't necessarily just something exciting. A big idea is something that is connected to the fundamental values of our society or our personhood. So what's right and wrong, how it changes our understanding of science or society or literature. It may look at the societal expectations that are around us. Important questions look at the enduring understandings we have about the world and the people we interact with. As you can see, these are all really big ideas. All right, let's take a look at a couple of test questions and we can think about whether they're good, bad, or why. All right, first number, why do crazy people believe in ghosts? I think you can see how this is a poor question in a number of different ways. By using the phrase crazy, you're suggesting that only people who are clinically insane believe in ghosts. You're also suggesting that ghosts in and of themselves are a crazy thought. So this is carrying a very strong agenda. It's clearly very biased because it suggests that the paranormal is in and of itself insane. And it skews the research you're doing. This is sort of like the conspiracy theory arguments that we hear. What makes a valuable sports card collection? This is a better question, but it's more of a closed question in the sense that valuable could be interpreted simply as meaning what is worth money. So someone might look at this and say, well, the answer is very simple. If the cards are worth a lot of money, then it's a valuable collection. If they're not, it's not a valuable collection. The word valuable is awkwardly placed, or it's open to interpretation. You might say what makes a sports card collection personally valuable. And that would change the sentence or the question quite a bit, in the sense that it's asking what makes that sports card, or why does a person think that sports card collection is valuable? That could mean money. It could also mean a connection to their past, nostalgia, history, all sorts of other different things. All right, the next one I think you can guess where this is going. What are the attributes of a good leader? This is a much more open question. It's not saying that there are no good leaders and there are good leaders or who is a good leader. It's asking what qualities does a person have when they are a good leader? Lots of openings into this one, lots of ways we can approach it. All right, I'm going to stop here and let you get on with your work. I hope that this has been helpful.